Welcome back to another episode of Pixel Peek.
Anything interesting going on in the gaming world this week?
Are you implying that this show isn't always interesting?
No, I meant maybe this week's episode will just be extra interesting.
Well, we are getting a group game review from producer Haley Cipher, writer Zach White, and game reviewer Elizabeth Dodson on Gang Beasts.
Whoa, that sounds like an interesting group.
Not to mention a lot of great news on Roblox, Nintendo games, and even Marvel. Then, Ruby Hall is back to tell us about some of the Steam events that happened in October.
I can't wait. We need to start the episode right now. I'm Sarah Thompson.
And I'm Sydney Thompson. Let's get into the news for this week.
You may remember last season when we covered the original Super Mario Bros. Game selling for an astounding price at auction. Well, in this week's news, the second Super Mario Bros. Game has also sold for a high price at over $88,000. According to the original owner of the game, it was found still sealed in a near mint condition, hiding in the back of a cluttered closet. Upon inspection of the sealed game by an appraiser, the 1988 game was given a rating of 9.8, the second best possible rating it could have received. After rooting through the closet, the original owner said many other classics were found, like Duck Hunt, Quicks, and an original NES console. The console was being prepared to get turned on for a trip down memory lane until they noticed the sealed Mario Bros. At that point, the owner knew they had something special on their hands.
Skydance New Media, a studio led by the former creative director for the Uncharted series, will be partnering with Marvel Entertainment to produce a new action-adventure game. The game is being said to be a completely new storyline in the Marvel universe and will be heavily narrative and story-driven. So far, literally nothing has been announced about the game, nothing about characters, plot, or a release date. But it is definitely confirmed something is coming. This upcoming Marvel title will be the first from Skydance New Media, which was created to specialize in story-driven, immersive gaming. Skydance was originally created in 2010 to produce entertainment for film, television, and animation, and looks forward to a new target audience of gamers. The announcement of this new game is currently not even a week old, but to see both sides of the creation heavily voicing their excitement for the future, it can surely be one to look forward to.
For some unfortunate news out of Nintendo of America this week, one out of their 3 largest offices has closed, resulting in over 100 employees being displaced. The Redwood City located out of California came to an end after the resignation of the SVP of Sales and Marketing, Nick Chavez, left to join the Kentucky Fried Chicken family. Chavez took over the SVP role from a familiar name, Doug Bowser, who was promoted to the president of Nintendo of America in 2019. According to Nintendo, the California location was home to much of their sales and marketing, along with a team dedicated to working with retail locations across the country. While it is unclear what prompted Nintendo to make the move of closing down this location, it is obvious that many employees are upset with the decision. Closures and rebuilding of any sorts are rare for Nintendo of America, so it will be interesting to see what their next move will be after this.
Nintendo's recently released extension to their Switch Online service is facing extremely unfavorable responses from the community. The release trailer for the Switch Online expansion pack is now the publisher's most disliked YouTube video they have ever released, with a whopping 153,000 dislikes at this point in time. To those keeping up with the details of the service, it is likely no surprise that this backlash extends to social media. Players have vocalized their distaste toward the pricing and quality of features included in the expansion pack. The pack itself includes Nintendo 64 and Genesis games such as Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and more. It also allows access to purchase exclusive controllers and the Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise DLC, which can actually be bought without the service entirely. A fair number of players have reported that the retro titles have disappointing performance, nothing like the past re-releases of such titles. All of this reflects poorly on Nintendo's decision to price this yearly individual plan at $50 and the family plan at $80. For many, this price is simply unaffordable, especially considering the quality of the product being purchased. Only time will tell what the future sales of the service will look like and if it will influence Nintendo's plans with Switch Online moving forward.
Game developer Krafton has recently acquired Unknown Worlds Entertainment. Krafton has been responsible for games such as Terra or PUBG in the past. Independent developer Unknown Worlds Entertainment is best known for their game, Subnautica. Krafton appears to be looking for new talent to add into their collective of studios. Unknown Worlds will be the 6th independent studio Krafton adds to their roster. Some other studios owned by Krafton are Rising Wings, a mobile game provider, and Bluehole Studio, creators of the MMORPG Terra. This information regarding Krafton's new addition was revealed to the public in a press release. Krafton says to preserve Unknown Worlds' unique creative identity, that the studio will still be working independently. According to said press release, Unknown Worlds has been working on a new genre-defining game, which early release is planned to be granted in 2022. Most recently, Krafton's Striking Distance Studios has also been in the works to develop a new game. The sci-fi horror game set in the PUBG-verse, the Callisto Protocol, is set to release in 2022 as well. We will be sure to keep following these games for any new announcements.
One of the most popular video games to date, Roblox, recently suffered an outage that lasted over 60 hours. Through October 29th to October 31st, the game was offline and unable to play. Although the studio has not yet released an exact reason for the outage, some believe it was due to the food chain Chipotle giving away $1 million worth of burritos through the game. However, the company has released that the problem was related to a back-end bug and a growth in the numbers of servers rather than free burritos. A statement was made on October 30th saying that a team was working hard engineering and doing maintenance in order to bring the game back up for its 48 million players. When the game finally came back on October 31st, the studio stated, "Roblox is back online everywhere. Thank you for your continued patience as we get back to normal. Players hope that this problem is fixed and that it will not be a repeat experience." That's all for news this week. After this short break, we will see a game review on Gang Beasts, so don't go anywhere.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, November 5th. Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Grace Powers.
And I'm Ivy Fischel.
As of October 27th, students can change the name on their app card to their preferred or chosen name. It's all part of the Preferred First Name initiative. An email from Interim Chief Diversity Officer Jamie Parson detailed how students can make the change through AppleNet. The email also included several resources on the importance of pronouns and inclusive language. For more information on the initiative or how to change your preferred first name, go to diversity.appstate.edu/preferredfirstname.
I believe that it would benefit App State students to be able to change their name on their app card. I feel like if they're going through a name change, it would make them more comfortable with themselves and the process as a whole.
On October 23rd, a church group of 23 people found themselves in a scary situation when they became lost while exploring Linville Falls. With daylight fading and temperatures dropping, 2 members of the group were able to hike out and call for help. Fortunately, with the help of the Linville Central Rescue Squad, the region's mountain rescue team, and Burke County Emergency Management, the responders were able to reach the hikers by the river to warm them up and give them food before starting the journey out of the forest. All of the hikers were able to make it out of the Linville Gorge unharmed. Responders say that the record-breaking numbers of visitors to the high country this year have also meant a record number of calls that have been responded to. Rescue responders also state the importance of being prepared for your hike and for the weather.
Grab your binoculars and field guides because the Fosco Wetland Trail is now open to the public for birding. The property is open thanks to a partnership with the High Country Audubon Society and Blue Ridge Conservancy. This wetland is special because it is so rich in biodiversity. Wetlands are the area between dry land and water, so it creates a unique environment where all kinds of species can thrive. If you come to the Fosco Wetland Trail to do some birding, you may find a belted kingfisher, osprey, or several species of flycatchers. There is a short trail that leads into the wetland, but no official trails within. You can head to the Fosco Grandfather Community Center at 223 Park Road for parking and access to the trail.
That's our report for this week. I'm Ivy Fischel.
And I'm Grace Powers.
For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, alright. I feel like I'm in Club Penguin. Controls at all.
Me neither. I just guessed on that.
I am drowning.
Hello everyone, I'm Haley Cipher, and this week the crew and I will be reviewing Gang Beasts. Like I said, I will not be alone. I will be joined by our game reviewer Elizabeth Dodson and our writer Zach White. So Gang Beasts is a multiplayer party game developed by British indie studio Bone Loaf. The game was originally released in the summer of 2014, but recently released for the first time for the Nintendo Switch. This release comes 4 years after the official release onto PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. You have options for character customization and can fight with up to 8 players locally or with online play. That was fun. We did get some randoms to hop onto our games. The game felt a little reminiscent of Human Fall Flat, a multiplayer puzzle platform game, if you've ever played that. I say this because of the movement controls and the way you must approach attacking your opponent.
Sorry, that's them. Oh, this is new. I've never seen this map before.
There's a ton. Oh no, what?
I'm just gonna stay over here.
Oh no. Oh my god!
Hi.
It's like Willy Wonka.
Your character is very floppy, and you must try to beat your opponents in each round. You can punch with your left and right arm, and you can also grab and hold your opponent above you, and then hopefully throw them off the map. That was really fun. There are various obstacles that can have you ending up drowning or falling off the map to your death, one way or another. There was definitely a few small glitches we encountered, all having to deal with the map glitching out. Nothing that really interfered with the gameplay too much though. There are various different maps and modes that you can play through. There is a melee mode, which is basically a free-for-all. We found that we had the most fun on this one. There's a wave mode, which is the players versus waves of bots. There's a soccer mode, which we thought we wouldn't have too much fun on, especially there only being 3 of us, but it was actually pretty fun to try to steal the ball away from your opponents and see who could make the goals first. The final mode was Gang, which is sort of similar to Melee in that you still fight to the death. Something that did come to our attention was that we could not find the controls anywhere in the settings. This left us up to a guessing game, but it definitely wasn't too hard to figure out. Maybe we missed it or it was in the beginning, but I don't think we did.
Look at that gold star.
It's the power of the Michelin suit.
I do kind of feel power.
Oh, this one.
Not this.
I will not lose my hat this time.
I'm already sliding. That's not fair. The jumps are so weak.
And it's on water.
No. Come on. No. Come on. Like, once you're in the water. To the iceberg.
We all decided to give this game a Pixel Peak rating of good game. It's above average, but mostly the $30 price tag given for the Switch is a setback. Notably on Steam, I believe it's $17.99 right now. It was fun to play, and we thought it was deserving of closer to a $15 to $20 charge. Thanks for tuning in to the game review this week on Gang Beasts, and let's take it back to the studio.
I'll play upstate, Sundays at 9.
Get out of here. Just go.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in recreation management with a focus in outdoor experiential education, recreation and park management, and commercial recreation and tourism. Our second degree-granting program in health, physical education, and coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina, so come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Hey, do you have way too much time on your hands?
Do you love watching people act a fool?
Do you like to learn how amazing the LGBTQ+ community is?
Well, yeah, us too! That's why we made this show, Can't Think Straight.
I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. We are your esteemed hosts.
We'll provide you non-stop laughs as well as a sprinkle of queer education to get you through your day.
Can't Think Straight will premiere Fridays at 9 p.m. You can watch it on watchapptv.com or any of these TV channels.
Can't wait to see you there.
Bye!
Bye.
Welcome back to Pixel Peak. Today I'm sitting down to talk with Ruby Hall about the October STEAM Festival. Thanks for joining us, Ruby.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. IGN does similar events with game previews and demos. What makes the STEAM Festival different?
So essentially what the STEAM Festival is that it's a time that Valve has created in a space they have for gamers and developers to essentially come together. They have direct communication channels so players can give direct feedback to these developers. And these developers also have a chance to start building an audience early for their upcoming games. And during the Steam Fest, all of these upcoming games have available demos ready to download, so these gamers can get a taste of these new games, give the feedback to the developers, and it's just really a good time for everyone.
Yeah, that sounds beneficial for everyone. Does this festival happen every year at a certain time, or does it vary?
It happens approximately every couple of months, typically every quarter. You'll see like a spring one, a winter one, a fall one, etc.
That's nice and spread out. What is the process to register your games for the Steam Festival?
So developers who plan on releasing their games on Steam will have a developer account through Steam. So what they can do is that they can log into their account and there's an entire application process they can go through where they submit their demo and details and whatever they'd like, and Valve will receive that, look it over, and decide who they will have at the Steam Fest, just to make sure, you know, they're of quality demos. And usually hundreds of developers get in, lots of passion projects get through, and it really helps them out. So it's really beneficial.
That's interesting to hear. Do any Steam events happen in North Carolina?
Not necessarily. Usually these Steam Fests are mostly online because it's really the easiest way to get access to these demos. They can just put them online for everyone to download. But there are a lot of gaming events in North Carolina and lots of local places if you're looking for tabletop games, video games. Like pretty much anything you can find, there's probably some sort of event somewhere in your local area. So there's a lot to look out for. There's lots of different events.
That's great to know. What is the average number of attendees at these events, and do they reach max capacity often?
It does vary depending on the type of event. Like there's a lot of local stuff and those typically have their average turnouts, but there's also occasionally some conventions that'll come to town or some really big tournaments. Usually stuff for that, like big tabletop games. Smash Bros is super huge. That's usually what you'll see a ton of people show up for. And you know, you can have hundreds, sometimes maybe even 1,000 people show up, and it's huge. Sometimes they even run out of space, but it's an amazing time for everyone. People come in and they have an amazing time just playing these games.
That sounds like fun. What are currently the most popular digital tabletop games right now, or highly anticipated releases?
Currently, the biggest online tabletop games going on right now are actually just online versions of pre-existing card games. So like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, they have their own platforms doing Magic Arena and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links respectively. Pokemon TCG has their own thing and they're dropping a new one soon. And since these tabletop games have had such success already, bringing them online is kind of just pretty much the move. And A lot of competitive play for these games has been moved to these platforms due to the pandemic and people having to be separated. So it's a lot easier to run those events online. And including in that list of stuff with tabletop games, tabletop RPGs are actually really popular to be playing online. Things like Dungeons and Dragons have platforms such as Roll20.com. That website has a ton of tabletop games and all the rule books and sheets and whatnot. So you're able to run that online in a virtual interface. So it's actually really, really easy to play games online.
Well, that's wonderful. Thanks for talking with us, Ruby. Now we'll take a look at a new segment where associate producer Haley Cipher interviews Bryce Walker about Apex Legends.
Hi, I'm Matt Huntinar. I'm with Transfer Admissions and Engagement.
Well, I have to ask, why did you guys decide to do tie-dyeing?
Oh, wow. Well, number one, it's an activity that really should be done outside. And it's a beautiful fall day. Why not be outside in front of Mountain Laurel Hall? Makes the cleanup a little easier when we're outside. It's just fun, and it allows students to be creative. And it's, a lot of students have never done it before. Many transfer students struggle with the process of coming to a new campus. They've had success at their previous college, so when they get to App State, they may be a little reluctant to form those new connections. And so the purpose of the events is to, yes, have fun, but really help them build those connections with other offices on campus, other students, have them join other clubs. Yeah, that's why it's important to me, because this week we're celebrating National Transfer Student Week. We know that what is good for students is for them to form those circles of friendship. And so they come to dye t-shirts, but they're also making new connections, making new friends, having fun, maybe taking a break from their academics.
So where can we hear more about future events?
So we post everything in Engage, and then every week, on Monday, we send out a communication, but every week it informs transfer students of the transfer events, but also the other events, like all of the homecoming events next week, all of the wonderful things put on by career development. We feel that our social media is pretty active, and we use Instagram, Facebook, of course, and then Transfer Scoop. Thank App TV, thanks for coming and covering the event. You're always welcome to come to the transfer student events. Thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Bryce Walker, and my favorite game is Apex Legends.
Why is Apex your favorite game?
It's the movement that draws me to the game. It allows you to feel like you have a lot of freedom with your movement. If you want to climb up the side of a mountain, if you can find the right path, you can do it. And there's a lot of things that you can do with your movement that can catch your opponents off guard and really shine.
So movement techniques that are in Apex, it first started with bunny hop, which is a movement tech that is in a lot of Source engine shooter games. Then you had wall jumps, which is pretty much just jumping off a wall, like the name says. But when you do that, you can choose which direction you go, and it will send you very fast in that direction. And it will be hard to keep track of you in a fight. Then you will also have tap strafing. Tap strafing is a very controversial topic in Apex because the developers wanted to take it out at one point recently because it lacked counterplay, is the reasoning that they had. But they could not take it out due to it would mess with other mechanics of the movement of Apex, so they have left it in for the time being. And then you also had super glides. Super glides are really useful. They can send you very fast in one direction after climbing, but you could also use tap strafing in conjunction with super gliding to, after climbing, you can send yourself in whatever direction you want very fast. Then you also have zip lines in the game, and there is movement tech around zip lines, and it's called super jumping. And it's essentially whenever you go onto a zip line in the game, the second you press your action button to interact with it, you would also have to jump at the same time, and it sends you in a really fast upward motion of a jump off the zip line. Now that allows you to look around and then also shoot, and then you can also do it again on the zip line. There's a lot of movement tech that you can do around a zip line. I love to use tap strafing because of the freedom that you have with it. It can save you in a lot of tight positions, and it can get you where you need to be out of the sight of somebody if you need to. It can be used in conjunction of all the other movement techniques, so that makes it very versatile and fun to use.
What are your critiques for this game?
My critiques would be that they need to maybe do some character rebalancing, some reworks possibly. They just released the new map Storm Point, and it's a big map. They might want to up the looting pools a little bit, because since it's a big map, it kind of feels a little empty on areas that you would feel like should have a lot of loot when they really don't. Other than that, the game's at a solid state right now.
What do you think draws the community to this game?
Honestly, I think it's the movement for a lot of people. I know that a lot of people come to the game strictly for it's a very competitive BR, and seeing streamers like Asu, It's Timmy, Taxi, even like the competitive pros like TSM Imperial Hal, all those people, they really bring the community in and make them really try at this game.
How many hours do you have in this game?
I have about 980 as of last time I got off. I am close to 1,000, so we're getting there.
All right, well, thank you so much for chatting with me today and answering these questions. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Leadership skills, lifelong friendships, discovering passions. These are just a few of the many things App State promises to students who choose to get out and get involved in various clubs around campus. And with over 400 clubs to choose from, it's safe to say students certainly have options, like the Gaming Club, which invites students to show off their competitive side.
Every Wednesday night from 5 to 6:30 p.m., laughter and cheers can be heard originating from the second floor of the Plemons Student Union. The sounds of the Gaming Club.
Hi, I'm Ruby Hall, and I'm president of the Gaming Club here at App State. We're a super casual club, all about playing games and having a good time.
Currently in her second year as Gaming Club president, Ruby explains how the club has been giving students a chance to have fun and make memories together for over a decade.
The Gaming Club was founded in 2004 because a bunch of people wanted to play PC games together, but doing it online back then was really difficult because you had a lot of latency issues. So people just got together and would plug up all their computers and just play their online games together. Here it still is all this time later.
It's not just App State students that echo Ruby's words.
My name is John Pierce. I work at New River Light and Power, and I'm the advisor of the Gaming Club.
As an advisor, John explains the type of impact the Gaming Club can have on students looking for those who have similar passions as they do.
Regardless of when you came to Appalachian, whether it was in the 1970s or whether it's 2020, people are seeking out entertainment, and gaming is one of the great ways to meet other people that have the same interests in you as you.
The Gaming Club meets every Wednesday night from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on the second floor of the Student Union. Students can also join their Discord, which the link is located at appstate.campuslabs.com/engage/organization/gaming-club.
Whether it's games like Super Smash Bros. Or Cards Against Humanity, App State's Gaming Club surely is unique in giving students a chance to be competitive and have fun at the same time. Reporting for the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Josh Scott.
That's all for this week's episode. I would say that was extra interesting.
Well, sure, but not as interesting as all of our great viewers who follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PixelPeakAppTV.
And the people who watch us bi-weekly on Wednesday at 4 on WatchAppTV.com, SkyBest Channels 20 and 1020, Spectrum Channel 198, or on App State's Campus Television Channel 23.3.
What would Pixel Peak be without its amazing crew? Thanks to our writers Zach White and Tommy Savoya, analyst Ruby Hall, and producers Elise Taylor, Haley Cipher, Christina Gizzi, and Tomas Delgado for another extra interesting episode.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.